Dead and Hip Hop album review. Rick Ross, Richer Than I Ever Been. It's been a minute since Rick Ross dropped an album.
Has it?
It feels like it.
It don't feel like
2019.
It seems like he
Port of
always.
Miami Part 2. I think that's what we reviewed.
Yeah, it seems like he always.
We didn't review that, but anyway, he back. And we are definitely gonna tell you guys what we think about it. But before we get into the review, hit the subscribe button and make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that thumbs up button on this video as well. And if you enjoy this video, consider becoming a patron and check out our class reviews. That is patreon.com/dead in hip hop. I'm gonna just jump right to it, man. I did not like this album.
Damn.
So did we do it?
We didn't do Port of Miami.
Okay. Look at boy the OG, man. I tell you, boy, this thing still got some air. It's still some air in the tire, B.
There you go.
It's still some air in the tire, B.
There you go.
Like I said, hair. I was about to say, I don't know, bro.
Damn.
It's still a little bit.
Damn.
Oh man, but yeah, man. Like I'll say, like Rick Ross has done a couple of features, and I've liked the features that he's been on that I've heard. And then when I looked at this, I was like, oh shit, he got some shit with Benny on here. I was like, all right. And Feefo and I, we actually did the single Outlaws on 365, and I like that song as well. So with Jasmine and 21 Savage. So I was like, okay, cool. Let's do this. Little Havana came on. I was like, okay, that's cool. Here we go. The Pulitzer. I was like, all right, 2 for 2. Rapper Estates was cool. Marathon. Then Warm Worlds in a Cold World wasn't bad, but you know that was the first time I was like, oh shit. And then wiggle.
You ain't like that one? Wiggle.
Wiggle came on. I was like, uh-oh. And then Can't Be Broke came on. I was like, uh-oh. And then Made It Out Alive was on. I was like, okay, the beat sounds cool. But then Blacks came on, and I was like, okay, who's this fake-ass Frank Ocean sounding up? Didn't like his singing on there. I did like Outlaws.
Yeah, me too. I like that.
Yeah, Imperial High was okay. Richer Than I Ever Been. I like the beat, but overall the song was a no. Huh?
Like Metaphor.
Oh, okay. So that explains that. And Hella Smoke was fine. I thought Wiz's verse was okay. While he's stunned on us talking about his girl's country, you know, not her city, but her country. And I thought, and Rick Ross was trying to be slick when he was like, "Oh yeah, if you woke up today, then you richer than you ever been." And then he said something else, then you're richer than you ever been. But let's get to the money, which you won't be richer than you ever been. I'm like, okay, bro. Like, seriously? Don't try to damn con me by making me seem like when I wake up every day and I'm not richer than I ever been. What if I'm broke, Rick Ross? How is me waking up going to be a good thing for me? Damn. Especially with the way this thing has been going on, a pandemic for a lot of people out here. Damn. You know, I hope y'all get it better. But yeah, man, overall, this album just felt flat to me. I felt like I loved the way it started with the first 4 to 5 songs, but it just went downhill for me from there.
It doesn't seem like it did based on what you just said. I know you started off saying that, yeah, this wasn't it. But then you liked the first 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you liked the last 3 for the... 3 or
no,
4 for the most part.
No, I said the beats were cool on those later ones. Yeah.
Yeah, but it makes it sound like it's not like a bad album for you. But if you feel like it's bad, that's fine. I'm actually on the opposite end of that. I actually like this album. And man, care about your ad libs.
I ain't say nothing.
Said,
no, I didn't.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Nah. I mean, Rick Ross is still impeccable at picking beats for himself. Like he's really good at picking beats that he sounds good over. And that's a testament with the first 4. I agree. That Wiggle, I don't know what he did. The Can't Be Broke, I don't know what. Yeah, it's only like a couple, 2 or 3, like 3 songs that I really, really don't care about. But like the Little Havana, the Pulsar, Rapper Estates with Benny, Marathon was cool. The beat was crazy on that, and the way he flowed on it. I mean, I've always liked the way Rick Ross sounds over beat. It's kind of like how Myke is about artists that he likes and don't want him to change. That's how I am about Rick Ross. If I like Rick Ross, I don't want him to change. I don't care about a varying flow. I don't care about that. I just care about what I like Rick Ross.
You know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, I know what I'm gonna get from Rick Ross, and I don't care to hear nothing different. I mean, if I'm a fan of Rick, if I'm a fan of that, I'm a fan of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is.
Yeah.
And if you're not, you're not. You know what I'm saying? I get that too. So like, he was pretty much himself on this, and the wiggle, the can't be broke with Youngin, Ace, and Major 9, I just was not. They sound like the same person. I just was not feeling
I just
that.
don't like that type of rap.
Yeah, me neither.
Like that
And,
type of that style of rap, I've never been a fan of that style of rap.
And Made It Out Alive. So those are 3, right? In the middle. So I feel like he sandwiched those in the middle of some decent tracks. Like because right after that, it goes into Outlaws with 21 Savage and Jasmine Sullivan, which I feel like they really did a good job on that song.
Outlaws,
for real.
yeah, I like Outlaws.
I like what he said. He don't care about your rap opinions. 38 hanging off my head, you know, your hip hop opinions, and he was talking about 30 hanging off my britches. Now that's hip hop or whatever. So I thought like I said, man, 21 Savage has some gems in there. Go ahead.
What you think of the line? You think that was a line towards Jay and Little Havana?
So So I don't know the situation with them, and I had questions about Little Havana track, because he said a few things in that track that I feel like were kind of loaded, and I was just like, yo, what is? Because I was not. This album wasn't anywhere on my radar. Like I mean, and as of late, Rick Ross hasn't been on my radar. But you know, I'll listen to something when it come out. Like as much as I like this album, it was not on my radar to be like, oh man, I can't wait on another new Rick Ross album. You know what I'm saying? I just haven't been like a big fan like that. But just because I'm not a big fan don't mean that I don't like the songs when I hear them, type thing. I know he said something about, I know they had a line about the Kobe and the chopper thing and the copper thing, and I remember, and then it was oddly say, were you crying about the fame or the death? And I'm like, is he saying that about his wife? Because I know on one of his albums he was like, you weren't with me shooting in the gym. That was on the Rick Ross album. He said that about her before, so I'm like, is he doing that again in a weird way? Like now that Kobe's dead? Like I was like, I had some questions about that song. And then he had the Marion line. He fizzed afterwards, and I was like,
I released Marion. He began to fizz.
Yeah. So it was a couple things like, wait, is he just taking shots on this?
Set him up like Tupac, get him right.
That too, and I live my life like big. I'm like, is that a shot at Tupac?
Shit, I did it big.
I was like, what is going on this track?
Yeah.
I was so confused. Like, is that a dig at Tupac? Like, I don't know, man. It was just weird. That track was really weird to me.
I don't see why he would do that. Sure, it's not a shot at Tupac,
but. Yeah, but what about Kobe's wife and shit? Like
that I don't know, because I don't know anything about Rick Ross.
Yeah.
So the only dig that made sense was the Omarion thing.
Yeah. That's the only one that made sense. Yeah, because
the rest of it, I didn't catch the other stuff.
But even that, I didn't. Was Omarion saying anything about him or like?
I mean, didn't they have an issue and that's why Omarion left?
I don't know. I don't know Rick Ross news.
I don't know either. But I think it was one of those Vlad things that I caught.
Yeah.
So I don't typically watch Vlad videos, but I was like, why does he have a Marion on there?
Imperial High was cool. Richard and I Event was cool, and I thought Wiz sounded good on Hella Smoke. Honestly, I'm not like big on it or anything, but I didn't think it was bad. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think the one with Wale and Future was bad. I didn't even realize that was Future at first.
Because he was rapping.
Yeah, he was kind of like rapping. I was like, damn,
his voice was different.
So yeah, the only songs that I really just did not like was Can't Be Broke, Wiggle, and Made It Out Alive. Those are the only ones on this album. Like I'm like, yo, those he could have just left those off. But other than that, like I thought it was solid. I thought it was a solid Rick Ross project. But again, I know I'm more of a Rick Ross fan than y'all are.
Yeah, this was okay. It was alright. I mean, I'm kind of like in between you and Ken, where it's like I don't like hate it, but I don't, because I know what I'm gonna get from Rick Ross.
Right.
I know I'm gonna get luxury rap shit all the time, which is fine. I think my only issue with has always been with Ross is just his ability to rap. Really, like I feel like, because we might critique a Pusha T or a Benny or somebody for having the same content, but the motherfuckers can rap really well. So I mean, that's just the difference. I mean, Ross, I agree with you. He
stylistic.
He picked the right beats for his rapping style and everything. For after that, it's just like, okay, yeah. I mean, I think at this point, I can't say Ross be a better rapper or rap better. It's like he's been at this point pretty much since Teflon Don with me. Like he's been, at this level since Teflon Don album. And yeah, I mean that's it. I mean, I like Benny joint. I thought the beat from Marathon was dope as hell with Street Runner. Shout out to him for that dope ass beat. I love the 21 Savage and Jasmine Sullivan, and I agree with you, right? Even though I'm not a Wiz Khalifa fan like that, I thought he sounded good on Hella Smoke. I thought he rapped well. I thought he sounded good in that production on Hella Smoke. I pretty much got what I got out of a Rick Ross album. I know I'm gonna get some good beats. You know, the features was okay. Yeah, I'm definitely with y'all. I did not like the Wiggle joint. The Wiggle joint was, but you know what? I can see that. I bet you that should have played bump in the club or strip club or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know if it'll do well there.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Wiggle. We got excited at the end. Boy.
He showed it. Yeah, he did.
Like, calm your ass down saying wiggle.
Right. Going into this album, I was just like, I don't even know what much to say that I've probably been said about Rick Ross already in past reviews that we talked about him. You know, good production. He sound okay. He sound pretty good to okay on this production, on his beats, and that's pretty much it. I'm not going into this expecting, oh, Rick Ross, why don't you talk about something? He's not. He's pretty much, if you're gonna come for this type of content for Rick Ross, that's the guy you're gonna come for. You're not gonna come for anything different.
No super
for
thought
Rick Ross.
provoking shit.
I mean, he said some. I think it was Marathon where he was talking about the whole y'all just stood there while he Floyd had, he was talking about the black stuff. Like, I mean, he was trying to touch on some social shit a little bit on Marathon. That was pretty much about it. That's as far as different type of content that Rick Ross was rapping about. But other than that, luxury rap. That's pretty much all I got.
You like that Benny line where he said, "I'm really on the field, y'all skip Bayless" or something like that?
Yeah.
I was like,
Benny,
that was a good line. I said, okay, Benny.
Benny came on that track. I haven't been feeling Benny like that lately.
I've been having the same feeling. I thought it was just me.
But he sounded good here. He sounded good here.
Yeah,
definitely.
That beat fit both of them well too.
He sounded good here.
But yeah, overall, this was all right, and I expected it. So I guess that's why I'm just, that's why I'm kind of like, I expected it to be all right, like just cool or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say I'm in the fence between y'all two.
Gotcha.
How bad you hate it?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of this album, but like one of y'all said, I've enjoyed Rick Ross's features lately, so I was like, oh, am I finally becoming a Rick Ross fan? I like when he's gone over like some really grimy beats. I thought he sounded cool, and then he was going over some, I forgot what album it was, but he was going over some like really soulful kind of stuff, and I liked his verse. I can't remember what album it was now. So I was actually kind of curious to see if he was like switching up his sound. He was going to go for something different on here. But to be honest, with me, it just sounded like the same old Rick Ross, so it's just not my thing. I don't think Rick Ross sucks or anything. I think he sounds good on beat, and I like the way he says stuff, but I just don't really ever care about what he's saying. But yeah, Lil Havana didn't really work for me. The Pulitzer, that beat was super hard. It was menacing, and Rick Ross sounded great, and I was like, oh, I think I'm gonna like this. And then Rapper Estate came on, and I just thought it was very meh. It was okay. Marathon didn't do it for me, but Warm Words in a Cold World worked because it was a beat that I would never have expected to be on this project. I don't know who produced it.
Bink.
Who did?
Bink.
Yeah,
he did a lot of production. He did Devil with a New Dress off of My Beautiful Production.
Did he?
Yeah, if you want.
Bink had a run.
Bink,
interesting.
Yeah, Bink's dope.
That beat was really weird, but I really liked it. It was bizarre as shit, but I was like, damn, this came out of fucking left field. To hear Wale and Future on it, I was like, this is really an interesting song. I did like the Wale line about what you mad for? You can have your girl back. She ain't even got a passport. I'm like, that's pretty funny. Yeah, then Wiggle hit, and I was like, all right, bro.
Yeah, Wiggle almost messed up this album for me.
Yeah,
like that song was that bad. Like it
really
almost
was.
messed up the album for me.
I don't really even know what they were going for necessarily, because I kind of agree with Rod. I don't know if I would see. I guess maybe I could see it in a strip club. Maybe.
I don't think
maybe.
so.
I don't know. I could see some girl wiggle.
No girl wants to wiggle. They want to shake and twerk.
Shaking is wiggling.
Nah, Wiggle's different.
I don't think anybody.
Wiggle is what a child does. Wiggle is what a child
I might like to see a stripper do that. Shit. You know what I'm saying? Who's gonna be in the strip club talking about, hey man, no, that's not a wiggle. That's not a wiggle, ma'am. I disagree with you guys though. I did like Made It Out Alive. I thought the beat was really good, and I really liked how Ross sounded on that beat. And I really liked the hook. I don't know if is his name Blast?
I think it's Blast.
I'm not familiar with him, but I thought he sounded good.
He's from the West Coast.
Made it out alive.
You liked him?
I liked it. I liked that song, and I really liked the title track, "Richer Than I Ever Been." I thought that song was good, but none of the songs, unfortunately for me, none of the songs on here are good enough for me to return to. This, to me, it did end up being, a fairly standard Rick Ross project in my eyes, who is not necessarily a Rick Ross fan. I don't think it's bad, but I would not return to it. It's not my type of rap. Even the Benny song didn't really suck me in enough to make me want to go back to this project. So I didn't really care for Outlaws. I know that's a very popular single.
I didn't really, I hadn't heard the single. I hadn't heard anything off this thing. Like I said, I'm not checking for Ross like that right now. Well, I haven't been checking for Ross like that. You said something about soulful. I feel like that song was very soulful, sounding. Outlaws.
Outlaws?
Yeah.
I think it was mostly, and I know this is going to sound like blasphemy, it was mostly Jasmine Sullivan that I had a problem with. I like Jasmine Sullivan. I think she can sing beautifully. I don't really know that I was a fan of Jasmine Sullivan with 21 Savage and Rick Ross. I don't know why. It's almost weird that I would prefer to hear like even a Mary J. Blige or something on that song, just because I think in my brain it would have fit more.
I think Jolly Jasmine was definitely the better pick, especially with the year she's had. I think that was a smart pick from her.
No, I'm sure it was.
Yeah.
I'm sure it was a very smart pick. I think in my brain, I wasn't computing.
Got you.
Jasmine Sullivan with Rick Ross and 21 Savage. Like when people like this do songs together, my fucked up mind immediately says, what are they talking about in this room? And I just can't see them having a conversation. But I could be completely off base. I mean, Jasmine Sullivan might, come in there with some weed, like, hey, bro, whatever. But I don't know. That song just didn't really work for me like that. But like I said, Richer Than I Ever Been definitely brought me back. I really liked it. It was almost like an anthem type of song. And I liked it. I still like the way Rick Ross sounds. I think he's great at picking beats that he sounds good over. I think my mind was just expecting him to be on some slightly different type of production given the past few verses that I've heard him do.
I thought it was interesting that a Maybach Music wasn't on here.
What do you mean?
He has a Maybach Music song that he does on all his albums.
I don't think he had on this last one though.
No, he did. I just looked. That's why I said. So Port of Miami 2.
I said think.
He did.
He had Maybach Music is the 6th with John Legend and Lil Wayne. He had one on his last one, but yeah, he didn't. He left it off of this one. I thought that was interesting.
Maybe he's retired the series.
Cause I was waiting for that Maybach Music song. Never came, and I thought I don't know. I thought I missed it or something. So I went back. I was like, oh shit, I didn't miss it. It's not on here. It's not one on here. So I thought that was.
See, he skipped albums before though. I think.
Only one he did it on for us I see right now is the Black Market. But Black Market was different altogether. Like Black Market was just a different type of Rick Ross. He had it on them at least the first 6 or 7. Yeah.
Give me Little Havana, the Pulitzer, Rapper Estates, Marathon, and Outlaws.
Give me the first 4 joints: Lil Havana, the Pulitzer, Rappers Estate, Marathon, and Outlaws.
So I'll start with the Pulitzer, Rapper Estates, Marathon, Outlaws, and Imperial High.
I'm gonna go Pulitzer, Warm Words in a Cold World, Wiggle, and Make It Out Alive. Oh, and Richer Than I Ever Been.
Oh, you fuck with that Wiggle?
I'm about to go back to the crib, put that shit on. Like, girl, you gotta wiggle. Wiggle.
Bro, I thought you were going to do your own TikTok dance challenge.
Maybe I will. Maybe I will get myself on TikTok.
Don't start it.
Go ahead and get my wiggle.
Rick Ross, if you're watching, I didn't like this album. But I thought it started out really, really strong. Overall, I liked some of the stuff you were doing feature-wise. So, I was really curious to hear what this one sounded like, and it sounded like you were gonna head in that direction early on, like a new, more mature type of approach to the music, but eventually away from that. And I think the rest of it after that didn't really quite sit with me overall. When I finished listening to it, I was like, I don't think I like this one. But overall, I mean, there are some records on here I definitely enjoyed. As always, good ear for beats. And And yeah, flow wise, I thought I liked the way you sounded there, but at the end of the day, this one didn't do it for me, and that's it. So I've enjoyed some of your other stuff, but this one just didn't hit the mark.
Yeah, Rick Ross, if you're watching, okay project is like what I mentioned before, is what I expected from you. I didn't expect anything deep or anything overthinking type of rap from you, anything like that. I just know I was gonna get some luxury rap with some dope production, because as always, I'm pretty sure you heard this a gazillion times. You have a good ear for beats, so you pick the right beats to go over with your particular type of flow. So, and that's pretty much all I got. So they're gonna come to your music to get a specific type of style of rap, and they're gonna get that from you. So keep it up.
Rick Ross, if you're watching, which I never say this, but I'm sure you're not. I know a lot of people here say that, but I'm pretty sure you're not watching this, but I'll entertain it anyway. No, man, it's a good project. I feel like it was a good project. It was a you project. Like, this is, what I expect from you. And honestly, slightly better than some of the other ones that I've heard from you, honestly. I could definitely see myself playing a lot of these just on a random day of, like, in a Rick Ross mood. So for that, man, yeah, it's dope, man. Like I said, you're always good at picking beats. I don't expect too much more from you than what we get here, which is fine. You know what I'm saying? I think it's totally fine. So, yeah, that's it, man.
Hi, Rick Ross. I've never been a fan of your music, but I get its place, and I understand why people like it. You make music for a certain type of person, and you do it well. It's just not my kind of thing. Continued success. I hope next year you're even richer than you ever been. But yeah, I'm just gonna stay broke.
Broker than you ever been.
Broker than I ever been.